What up? I'm Josh Paulison, and this is Inspector Josh Investigates TV, where we reverse engineer TV shows to draw story writing lessons from them. Today we're going to look at My Hero Academia, Season 1, Episode 10, titled Encounter with the Unknown. Warning, spoilers for this episode are ahead. Today our lesson is the escape structure. Getting your heroes out of the clutches of the enemy can be really tough work. So let's talk about this escape method demonstrated in this episode. And I know that it's a really creative name for the structure. That's why I'm a writer. So escape is actually an acronym. Sweet. And it stands for enter, survey, collect, assess, plan, and execute. So enter is first, you gotta get stuck. Survey is you gotta realize you're stuck. Collect is you got to get your resources together in a safe place, ideally. Assess means you got to figure out what possibilities you have, what you could do. Information gathering, basically. Plan is figure out what to do. And execute is put your plan into action. Here's the cool thing. This works for your characters and it also works for you. So if you're ever stuck IRL, you can run through this process too. But hopefully you don't run into the same problem that the characters here today run into. So here's how it's demonstrated in this episode. First, we have enter. Izuki enters the shipwreck area. Next we have survey. Izuki realizes he's trapped.
Water. He must have a warping quirk.
Collect. Sue saves everyone. In this case, they sort of are the resources.
You saved my life, Asui.
Assess. They talk a lot about this. For example,
think about it, though. If the villains spent so much time planning this attack, then they probably figured out a way to kill him.
Plan. You hear about the plan once it's actually executed, which is a pretty common writing strategy, but it's obviously still at this point in the process.
Even if I use a smash, I can't get them all at once when they're in a circle like that. Besides, there are still other enemies outside of the shipwreck zone.
Execute. And they escape! Yay!
I guess we passed the shipwreck zone.
So here's how you could use this in your own works. Let's say we want Tammy to escape the top floor of a burning building. Ooh, let's run through the method. So first, she has to enter. She has to get up there somehow. Maybe she was working there in this case, and a fire broke out on a lower floor. So then she has to survey. She has to hear the alarms go off, people yelling below, and when she heads towards the stairs, she finds the lower floors are ablaze, and so is some of the stairwell, and the elevator won't work, and seems kind of like a bad idea anyway. And then she collects. She collects her resources. She has a cell phone, cables, fire extinguishers from all around the top floor, and a broom, which, I mean, you know, she's on the top floor, so she's got a lot more stuff than that, but we're going to stick with that for now for brevity. And then she assesses. She determines that though there is fire below, the stairwell has a concrete base. She hopes the walls will stay solid and the stairs are metal with just a wood paneling over it. Kind of crummy, but hey, you know what? Maybe buildings kind of work like that. We'll talk about whether or not she'd actually survive later. And then we have plan. Tammy plans to get down the stairwell slowly. She'll spray the flames with the fire extinguishers and carry the fire extinguishers all down a level at a time, slowly making her way down. She'll open up side doors by wrapping cables around their handles and yanking or twisting, and check in there for a better route. The broom will help her sweep aside any excess fire extinguisher foam. And then execute. Tammy makes her way down. Hopefully she doesn't die and her plan actually works, but that's up to us as the writers. I don't know much about structural integrity, and maybe I've kind of already botched some of this stuff so that anybody who actually knows this stuff is hanging their head in a little bit of shame, but that's okay. This is just an example for the podcast. Maybe Tammy will die. You know, she could plan all of this not knowing how things actually work, just like I did. So there's a lesson here. But you can see how the escape method works. You can use it to help your characters make their next great escape. And ideally, you'll do it about something that you know a little bit more about. Or if you're in control of the world, like in the case with My Hero Academia, then hey, you know what? Go for it and do whatever the heck you want. With that, I think it's pretty safe to say, case closed. Thank you for listening. You can join me next week for another great episode, and you can also check out more free story creation resources at joshpaulison.com. And you can also get notes for future episodes when they come out so that you can not just listen, but read along with what we learn. Take care, guys.